for me to pick a favorite heavy metal band, but one of them is the band I'm talking about today in this retrospective, known as Pantera. The reason I love this band so much is, unlike other heavy metal bands like Metallica, Megadeth, this band has always stuck with their heavy metal sound, particularly their groove metal sound, which they are the pioneers of. And they didn't steer off for radio-friendly music, although Far Beyond Driven, which is the album I'll talk about later, most songs made it to the charts and were pretty popular at the time. So they didn't have a particularly radio-friendly sound, with most of their albums including lots of swearing, and pretty explicit detail. Like songs about abuse, songs about drug abuse, distance between Phil Anselmo and his father. Many concepts are in these songs, and when you listen to these albums, you would understand why. So today I'm doing a retrospective video on Pantera. This isn't a script. I'm just going as it is, and I feel like in the raw form, I feel like this is better than staring at the piano. So, Pantera consists of Philip H. Anselmo on vocals, Rex Brown on the bass, Dimebag Darrell on the guitar, rest in peace, and Vinnie Paul on drums, rest in peace. The band's been around, well, in this lineup, actually the late 1980s with their album Power Metal, which I'm not going to be including down here because that's rather a time that most of us Pantera fans we'd love to forget. So it's going to be Cowboys all the way up to Reinventing the Steel. So the band started off in Arlington, Texas with their debut album, Cowboys. Widely considered as one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time, Cowboys was released in 1990. And, oh my god, this is such an unpopular opinion. Honestly, don't get me wrong, I love this album. The title track, Primal Concrete Sledge, Psycho Holiday, Heresy. To me, that's one of the coolest guitar riffs of all time from Dimebag. It starts off kind of slower but fast paced, and then just BAM! Hits you like a freight train. Medicine Man is another one of my favorites. The Sleep, I think, is fantastic. Did I say Medicine Man? Yeah. Medicine Man is really good. Shattered. I think Shattered is really when Philip Anselmo had his Rob Halford vocals, as I call it. I mean, just listen to this and Painkiller by Judas Priest. Yeah, it's almost relatively the same. Probably not. But that's what it's like to me. Clash with Reality, I thought that song was just fine. The artist shredding, that's good. And one of the best songs of all time, Domination, is on here. However, oh my god, I don't want to say this. I think this might be my least favorite Pantera album. Not because it's horrible. I think this album is easily a 10 out of 10. However, Pantera to me is one of those bands that albums get better and better and better and better and better. So that's why Cowboys is my least favorite. But still, a fantastic album with great riffs, great solos. The solo on Domination is legendary. The acoustic riff on The Sleep, I love that intro. I'm a sucker for acoustic, especially Pantera songs. The intro to Cowboys from Heck is also legendary, especially when they performed in Moscow in 1991. It was 91? It was before Vulgar Display of Power came. Yeah, it was 91. But so many legendary things in this album. And quite possibly one of the greatest songs of all time. Cemetery Gates. Such a legendary song with a great intro. And oh my goodness. If you love Pantera, you have to love the song Cemetery Gates. That's just normal. I think my favorite song on here, I'm probably going to go with the song Heresy. Philip's vocals, I think, are fantastic. However, I don't feel as if he can really replicate it much at live shows. Especially as his voice gets deeper and deeper and deeper. You're smoking, boy. But oh my goodness, I love this album. But these next few albums, they're still all 10s. 10s. That's all the great kill me. But I love this album. Now, then in 1982, Pantera would come up with their sophomore record, Vulgar Display of Power. Here's when things get heavy. Vulgar Display of Power, released in 1992, is also, like Cowboys, widely considered one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. I find this album to be, honestly, 10 times better than Cowboys Meg. It's kind of like Metallica's Kill 'Em All compared to Metallica's Ride the Lightning. That's how I feel like. Kill 'Em All, great album, still a 10. With Ride the Lightning, bam, just beats it to the ground. It's so much better in my opinion. And I own Vulgar Display of Power, the 20th anniversary edition. So many great songs on here. The beginning song, Mouth for War, such a legendary riff from Dimebag, shows how legendary it was in the guitar. Philip does like a little scream on here, I thought was really cool. A New Level, oh my lord. That intro, just like Mouth for War, is legendary, especially when we perform it live. It's so amazing. You get the popular song, Walk. I love it. It's not my favorite song on here, and I can't say not really close, but yeah. F and Hostile, that's just one of the most accelerating songs, we should say. Like songs like when you're really hyperactive. That's what F and Hostile is. This Love, yet another legendary song. The outro part where it fades out and Dimebag's doing a solo, I thought that part was really neat. Rise is an underrated song. I don't feel like it's appreciated enough. It's always the next song of No Good, Attack the Radical. That riff and Rex Brown on bass, I think he's so underrated. You got other songs on here. Regular People, Conceit, By Demons Be Driven. Again, that intro, it's so legendary. Hollow's up there as one of my favorite Pantera songs as a whole. And then in this one you get the other tracks and the other stuff. But quite possibly my favorite song on here, probably the most underrated Pantera song. I mean, the song "Live in a Hole." I think it's about like people with overwhelming social anxiety. I feel like with Philip Anselmo, his wording and it all flows together extremely well. And overall, it's one of my favorite Pantera songs. I absolutely adore Vulgar Display of Power. Just look at that album cover. You know a band is heavy metal when they have this as an album cover. And people saying One Direction's heavy metal. People are just stupid. But I want to say it's my favorite Pantera album. I want to say so. But unfortunately, it's not. It's not my favorite Pantera album. And so, after this, in 1994, the band would release their quote-unquote rawest album in their discography. I don't think it's their rawest, but it is one of their heaviest. Next is the album Far Beyond Driven. It's so hard to talk about this album compared to other Pantera albums, because I want to say it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite heavy metal albums of all time. I'd say top 6. Top 6. As you all know, my favorite heavy metal album of all time is Ride the Lightning by Metallica. But man, this album, it comes so close. Far Beyond Driven, people say it's like the rawest and heaviest Pantera album. I can agree to a certain extent, but I feel like with the next album, Great Southern Trendkill, I feel like things get more raw and more heavy. The production on this album, I absolutely love. Rex Brown on bass, I feel like I love his bass riffs on songs like 25 Years, and what else? Oh, Use My Third Arm. So many good songs on here. Strength Beyond Strength. Actually, it was covered by, what's her name? Whitechapel. Whitechapel covered it. I thought the cover was good. Throws of Rejection. Yet another heavy song. 5 Minutes Alone. I'm Broken's on here. What was the other one? Use My Third Arm. It's on here. Yet another classic. Oh, Shedding Skin. Shedding Skin is underrated. And quite possibly, it might be the most underrated song on here. 25 years. It was written by Phil Anselmo and his relationship with his father. There's an interview on loudwire.com and their YouTube channel where Phil talks about this. It's absolutely amazing. It's like, he said it's like a time capsule at the time. He wrote the song when he was 25 years old. The period that they have not come. So, it also includes a cover of Black Sabbath's Planet Caravan. And I always liked how Pantera decided to go with this one instead of going with songs like Black Sabbath and War Pigs. However, they did do other covers like Hole in the Sky, which I think was a bonus on Reinventing the Steel. And they also covered Electric Funeral, one of my favorite covers of all time. Oh my lord, it's so hard to talk about this album because I want to say it's my favorite, but it's not my favorite. It's so difficult to say it. But, oh my lord, I love this album. It's absolutely amazing. Actually, songs played on the radio, which is really strange because this is an explicit album. One of the most explicit songs on here is Good Friends and a Bottle of Pills. There's like a reference to Ted Nugent's like Good Friends and a Bottle of Whiskey. I think that's what the song's called, but it was Ted Nugent. But I can't talk about this album anymore. It's just one of my favorites of all time. It's so difficult to talk about it. So, 1996, Pantera released their 4th studio album. And it's fucking start this motherfucker off. The Great Southern Trendkill. I'm gonna go with this one. This is my favorite Pantera album. It's so raw. It's just so legendary. You can already tell this album's raw with the title track, which is the beginning song, The Great Southern Trendkill. It starts just starts with that Phil Anselmo scream, and Phil's vocals on this album are absolutely amazing. War Nerve, that's heavy. That is heavy, and Phil just goes in with the screams. Drag the Waters, which the music video was directed by Dimebag, which I thought was pretty cool, because, you know, with all the home videos Pantera did, Dimebag knew how to film. Tins, it's an underrated song right here. 13 Steps to Nowhere. That's a song where I think Vinnie Paul had one of his best drum moments of all time, just that intro. It's just him on drums. It's amazing. Then you get, the 2 songs that I love from this album, the Suicide Note songs. Suicide Note Part 1, which is, it's actually really melodic. It doesn't feature electric guitar, it features 12-string guitar and keyboards, which I don't know who did the keyboard, and there's no tablatures to show you how to do it, which kind of sucks, because it sounds so beautiful. But, oh my lord. And then Suicide Note Part 2, when it gets melodic, and then pow! It goes straight back to screaming vocals from Phil, and the amazing guitar riffs from Dimebag. And Suicide Note Part 2 with Rex having the, I guess you could say, trim picking on bass. I play bass. Look, I play bass. I don't play by finger. But when you trim pick, that's hard to do. So I know that from experience. I don't know how Phil does, how Rex does it, but he does it when performing live. Living Through Me, Hex Wrath. I love the instrumental. And yet again, the bass riffs from Rex Brown. Rex's tone in this album, I think, is legendary as well. And Dimebag's tone as well. So fantastic. You get everyone's favorite Pantera song, Floods. This song really shows how this album goes for a darker turn, because this song is really about a flood that comes and kills all of mankind. The Underground in America, yet another great song, and Reprise, Sandblasted Skin. Overall, I'm gonna go with this one. This is my favorite Pantera album. Maybe not because it's the greatest album of all time, but to me, it is my favorite Pantera album, just because of how raw, heavy, and unhinged it is. And finally, in 2000, Pantera will release their final studio album, Reinventing the Steel. I don't know why, but I feel like with this album, I like this album better than the Cowboys. Heck, I honestly do. I feel like with the production, it sounds really different from the Pantera album. If you look back on albums like Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, like guitar tones and vocal sounds, of course it's different because of age. But it feels like with tone and amps and stuff like that, and guitars, it's all different in this album. Man, what a way to go out. With songs like Heckbound, oh my god, Rex Brown's intro and bass and Dime Bag, Phil's scream when he says the title, God Darn Electric, one of my favorites, Yes Nay Don't Mean S-Word, we'll grind that axe for a long time. Another one of my favorites, It Makes Them Disappear. Uplift, it's one of the shorter songs on here, but still amazing. Death Rattle being one of my favorites. The single on here, Revolution Is My Name. The guitar solo, I think it's as legendary in my opinion as Floods. Maybe that's just me. And I know this isn't exactly on the album, it's actually sort of a bonus. But songs like the song Avoid the Light and Immortally Insane, I love those songs. Well, especially Avoid the Light because it's in the Dracula 2000 soundtrack. I think I already talked about It Makes Them Disappear. Great intro from Dime Bag. And my favorite song on here, honestly my favorite song of all time from Pantera, the song I'll Cast a Shadow. I think this is one of the only few albums where Rex Brown uses a bass wah pedal. And I think it sounds legendary, especially when they perform it live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. You could just tell the band is having so much fun. And Phil on vocals, his heart out. It's absolutely fantastic in my opinion. And now, we reached the end of Pantera's discography. That was cringy. Don't do what I just did. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Hopefully this video is better than the one I planned to do last time, which I'll do a whole video on it as long as I don't procrastinate. So, thank you all for watching this video. Like, subscribe, favorite, comment, and share. That's the thing. See you all.